Bradley Martyn is a popular fitness influencer slash podcast host. He's been in different communities. He's been with live streamers, the Nelk Boys, etc. Using etc. when you have no further examples. Good morning, Patriots. I watched some of his podcasts. I like the guests he has, and I don't know, he doesn't really add that much, but cool guy, at least from what I've seen so far. But two main things that I want to highlight about this gentleman before we get into anything else. One, he has a simian build, okay? He has a apish physique. He's huge, ginormous, a lot of muscle, and as you can assume, the dude is fucking roided up to the maximum, okay? He is not natty. He is on a lot of steroids, and this can result in some roid rage. Yeah, I say some, maybe a lot of roid rage. Now, before we get any further, just to answer the SQ, the steroid question, I think with steroids, it's your body, your choice. You know, you can do whatever you want. If you want to be natty, be natty. If you want to juice, then juice. I mean, just know the risks. Obviously, don't do something stupid. I would not do it, but if you have some desire to achieve a Ziz build, then go for it. I think the issue with steroids really begins to ramp up when it's no longer you just self-destructing and harming yourself, but you've now become an angry maniac who, with one small set-off, can turn into a fucking grizzly bear, and you're just looking to punch anything that moves or breathes. Now, in Bradley Martyn's case, this has manifested in a few crash outs on some live streams. You see, Bradley Martyn is bald, and so he wears a hat because he wants to cover his bald head, and so this is his like prized possession, right? It's a big part of his look, and a lot of people like to try to clip farm off him because they know he's easy to set off because of the steroids, and it's done by taking his hat or, you know, taunting him in some way about that. And so there's been the clip where, you know, I think it was Ronaldo takes his hat and then gets fucking smacked. Now, whether or not you think he deserved to get slapped, I think it's safe to say that it probably would have been different if Bradley wasn't juicing. But Bradley is juicing to be as physically big as possible. He wants as much muscle mass as humanly acquirable, and he'll do what needs to be done to achieve that. One reoccurring issue that Bradley does seem to face with his own idea of what role muscles play in combat and the relationship with strength and the ability to conquer other humans is that they're not one-to-one, but he seems to think that they're more related than they might actually be. What I'm trying to say here is just because you're all muscly and strong, that doesn't make your ability to fight people any greater. It can give you a certain edge, but the reality is you will lose 9 out of 10 times against someone who is actually trained in fighting. But I guess Bradley just doesn't get this or doesn't believe it, or he's coping or something, because there's been several times where he's had MMA fighters on his podcast and they'll be smaller than him or something like that, and he'll propose this hypothetical where he's like, well, if we were to fight in a street, what would happen? I'm 260 pounds, I'm pure muscle, and you're not those things. Would I win? And he's sort of saying it in a tone that would imply he thinks he has the edge. And every one of these fighters is like, no fucking chance. Like, I'm a fighter. You're a gym bro. We're not the same. It's a brutal conversation, Mog, but yeah, I don't know. He just doesn't really seem to understand that. Now, I know I'm talking about all this sort of heavy athleticism stuff while I'm sitting here with my twig arms. So the irony of this entire video isn't lost on me, trust. But I think it is worth pointing out that this guy has the privilege of getting the most talented fighters in the world to sit down with him on his podcast. And time again, he brings up these ridiculous hypotheticals to try to get this ego inflation from these fighters, you know, basically begging to give him a yes to some obscure scenario where he could have the edge in beating these guys. According to Tell Us More, Bradley Martyn is continuing to embarrass himself.
Over the past year or so, Bradley Martyn has become an internet meme for how much he backs himself in a street fight.
But it's never a good start to a video about you, man. When someone starts a video with, hey, this guy's become a meme. Yeah, that's never a good thing. The tonality of that makes it sound like it wasn't your choice. You know, you were you, and then people decided that you being you was funny enough to become a worldwide cultural phenomenon at your expense. Yeah, not too great. I think it's different, you know, when you do it on purpose, when you're playing into it intentionally in order to garner views and stuff, like iDubbbz jumping off a table saying he's gay. But when you are taking yourself seriously and then you get fucking clowned on to a point where you are a meme, I think your best bet and your only move on the chessboard is to lean into it somehow and try not to take it personally. But Bradley, this guy, you know, he would never have hoped for this, for him to have the thing that he stands on, his main thing, that he's 260 pounds of pure muscle, for that to become a thing that is only laughed at now. Unlucky.
Even in a street fight,
I'd beat the out of you in the street.
No,
fight.
I would kill you, bro.
Yeah,
I would kill you. I would kill you, bro.
God, I love it.
The whole thing about Brad.
I would kill you. And then he has to laugh at that nervously because he knows that, I don't know if that was nervous laughter, but that motherfucker was not kidding, okay? I've never heard someone say,
yeah, I would kill you.
Deadpan delivery and be so serious about it. I've never heard of that guy. I assume he's a fighter of some kind. I don't need to know. He would kill you in Minecraft or whatever. Can we just talk about, real quick, 10-second rant? I hate this current thing where you can't say words. You have to say unalive or in Minecraft or grape or PDF file. I am so sick of it. All I want to do is just say words that you can't say, like... But instead, you can't because the YouTube algorithm people have decided meticulously that there are certain words that will get you demonetized. Amazing.
Bradley being 260 pounds is a running joke because he brings it up almost any chance he gets.
Yes.
Damn, I'm 260, bro.
Unless you're 260, about 260 right now.
Yeah, but I'm 260.
It's a thing he brings up so often that you can easily tell it pops up at the wrong time. Guy's close relative dies. Someone's like, yo, Bradley, are you okay? I heard about your horrifying, tragic loss. Yeah, man, it's just tough, but hey, man, I'm 260. What can I say? Is the concept of death itself 260? I don't think so.
There are numerous clips of him wrestling other, much smaller influencers, and to no surprise, he ends up winning.
So Bradley's wrestling Bryce Hall in the middle of a Sheen factory. I wonder who has home field advantage here. I can't even tell. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this is, but if this was somehow a fight to prove a point, I don't really know why anyone would think Bryce Hall would win this.
Against an influencer and coming out on top against a trained fighter are two very different things. During 2023, anytime Brad had a boxer or mixed martial artist on his podcast...
See, this is the thing that's so deceiving about these fighters. Just by looking at this guy, you'd assume, oh yeah, he probably looks like, you know, Suicide Boys or some guy who would sell you meth. No, this man would kill you. This man could enact pain against you that no human should have to feel. Pain so intense that you will literally be begging him for the sweet release of death. Now, glazing Sugar Sean aside, although if at any point you gentlemen are interested in a lock when it comes to sports betting, never bet against this guy. This man is a assassin. In no facet of life is the phrase, don't judge a book by its cover, more applicable than mixed martial arts and fighting. You could have a fucking fighter built like Eugenia Cooney in her prime that would find a way to get you on the ground and have some sort of weird reverse Egyptian neck hold on you, causing suffocation worse than if Lizzo literally fucking crowd surfed.
He posed the question of who would win if they had a street fight. The guys he asked were always much smaller than him, so his argument on how he'd beat them always hinged upon his weight advantage. He'd insist that if he got a hold of them, then it would all be over. But everyone responded saying he'd have no chance.
People think that like muscles like mean something. Muscles don't mean nothing. Like
strangling while you're just like, how did he get here?
You think you beat me in a street fight?
You in a street fight?
Yeah.
You're a podcaster, brother.
I love it.
So the answer is then yes, yeah?
Of course.
The delusion of believing you'd beat Nate Diaz in a street fight is
It is absolutely... Alright, I'll just let the comment play here. Hold on.
The delusion of believing you'd beat Nate Diaz in a street fight is absolutely wild. It's like everyone understands something Bradley doesn't. And
well, the simple thing is that, you know, him thinking that once he gets a hold of you, it's game over because of his size, kind of, I think, ignores the fact that escaping is also part of the fighting strategy. How able and equipped are you to free yourself from a submission? Like, part of the knowledge you have as a fighter, as a mixed martial artist, is specifically dealing with the defensive side of things as well, right? Like, it's not just aggression, it's also defense and, you know, protecting yourself in vulnerable situations. This guy Bradley Martyn thinks that a fight would basically go the route of like a 90s like high school sitcom where the bully archetype character gets a hold of you, pushes you against the locker, and then you drop on the floor, and then he's just kind of standing over you and punches you a few times, when it could not be even farther from that.
You know it's bad when even Sneako is talking sense into you.
You're gonna try to come and run in, body shot here, body shot to the chin. He's accurate, he knows where to hit. You're gonna expose yourself and then a couple punches. I think you're really overestimating your chin. I know because you're a big guy, you're 260. Your chin is not 260. There's no bench press for your chin.
Before we go on to one of Brad's worst ever takes, I'd like to thank my bookie. Probably one of the worst things Brad has said is that he could beat MMA legend Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now, Mighty Mouse is a small man who competed at 125 pounds, less than half Brad's body weight. But Demetrius is a black belt in BJJ and one of the greatest to ever do it. I mean, here's him submitting a 250 pound BJJ brown belt. Still, Bradley just couldn't wrap his mind around how he could lose to such a small man.
With the guys like that, they're gonna get to your ankles so fast, you're not gonna have time to pick them up. And then they also, all they do is deal with big guys.
Let's hear the code.
So they know how to put you in a position where you don't have leverage to pick them up.
125 pounds though?
How can you? It's not even scripted. This is real. That's what he thought. So he may have reached the top echelon of mixed martial arts and, you know, maybe has trained a large portion of his life to acquire the skills to end another human's life in the realm of combat sport. But have you thought to consider, and no one else has thought this, by the way, no one's had this thought come across their mind when considering how much of a threat this person is, that he weighs less than me. Anyone thought this before? Has anyone considered this? I think the problem is, like, this argument has merit at like a certain point, but like when we're still, he's 120 pounds, that's still like, you know, a normal sized human. If we're talking about like Peter Dinklage, then it's like, oh, okay, you're onto something, Bradley. Yeah, you could fucking pick him up in Angry Birds saying, okay, makes sense. But unless you're literally squaring up with Hasbulla, like, I don't know what to tell you. This guy's a fucking black belt. Like, it's not happening. I'd like to see it happen. Actually, you know what? I would love to see Bradley Martyn walk this walk instead of just talking this talk. He's so confident. He's so confident. And like, I would love nothing more than to see this confidence get shattered, because it's absolutely not based in anything other than ego, I think.
I'm telling you, he's gonna get your back,
throw that.
he's gonna get your neck, he's gonna get your ankles.
Dude, because you just lay on top of a 125 pound guy. Can't. What, really?
Not the elite guys.
Dude, I want to find that I want to find this guy you're talking about.
DJ?
I want to just lay on top of him.
Yeah, you gotta say no Diddy after that one.
Wasn't respecting here is just how important technique is in grappling. Of course, weight plays a role, but if you don't know what you're doing, a skilled opponent will use that weight against you, no problem. Besides, day to day, Mighty Mouse actually walks around at more like 150 pounds than 125.
Bradley Martyn has no chance. Is there a time limit?
There is not a time limit.
Then he has
sir.
no chance.
Is that right?
Zero chance.
He's going to get his back taken. He's
he's 100% going to get choked out. If they just do a jiu-jitsu match, Mighty Mouse is going to get him. He's going to get tired.
He's going to get him, yeah.
He's going to get tired.
Yep.
He's not going to know the positions.
Yeah.
He's going to get trapped.
Just that's what jiu-jitsu is.
Yeah.
That's what grappling is on that level.
You'd think Bradley would be more humble given he actually has some prior experience rolling. A few years ago, he posted this video to his YouTube channel where he got ragdolled during a practice at a gym in Tarzana.
Got ragdolled.
Look at my head bad.
You good?
Yeah, hold on. I got rocked. You got it. That was like a good punch.
Yeah.
That was a good punch.
I think the difference is that he wasn't 260 here, if I were to assume, right? Because it's been, I think, 15 seconds of this clip and he hasn't said it. So, you know what I'm saying? It's sort of just like how Logic every fucking second is like, I'm biracial, guys. And he mentions it in every single song. So it's like when he doesn't mention it, you're like, wait, what? Logic? What's going on? Did you get replaced? You got replaced by Reason or something? That shit was the most unfunny shit I think I've ever said in my life. Oh wow, whoa.
Since that point, he's been going at it with a bunch of influencers, which has caused him to overestimate his abilities. He went crazy on Bryce Hall, continuing even after Bryce could no longer fight back.
Oh man, this can't be good. Oh my god, ow. Ooh.
Oh, wait. He's got a
Bro.
That's a flag.
It's done.
That's it.
It's done.
Oh, that's it.
He attacked Vitaly after he tried acting like
it's been done. Yo, that's insane. I literally just heard Bryce Hall's fucking spine crack in half. Then he puts him in a headlock. Bryce clearly taps. This dude decides to wait 5 minutes to solve the daily Wordle and then gives him the fucking out. I think Bryce just got like childhood flashbacks for a second. I think he saw the light really quickly. Like that's sort of what I'm talking about, right? That's just what I was basically saying earlier with like the 90s bully, where it's like you can kind of do that, but with an actual fighter, you won't get away with that. Because was there any technique to that at all? Man, I'm sure like it's just some very basic stuff, but again, it's like stuff that anybody could pull off.
and he violently slammed Steve Will Do It into the ground during one of their many confrontations. Now, arguably the worst instance of Brad picking a fight with a smaller guy happened following a podcast he did with Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen. Brian, who was 54 years old at the time, tried warning Brad not to pick a fight with Dylan Dennis, who was a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
I promise you're gonna get choked out.
After the podcast, Brad and Brian ended up having a tussle, and this is what happened.
My neck is... I won't grab it.
Bro. No. Oh my God. We're about to watch elder abuse. We're watching elder abuse take place. This guy's who is this guy? He's like a podcaster? I mean, I know what oh no, dude. Oh. Right.
Hang in there, Brian.
This guy's putting up a fight. Oh.
Get that together, watch my neck. Sorry. But see, do you see how you got flipped at least with an idiot like me?
I know, I was trying not to do too much.
But you know what I mean? Like,
I was trying not to.
Yeah.
So first off, Brian tells Brad that his neck is injured, and Brad responds saying he won't grab it. But then that's the first thing he does. Then the
Yeah, that's not a great look to ignore someone's special request in an...
After which, Brad puts even more force on his neck. Of course, he ended up winning, but him telling Brian he's lucky he wasn't going hard on him showed just how much he cares about looking like the big...
That's incredible. I love that. You know, you're 50, you thought you put up a good fight against someone half your age and on 50 times as many steroids. Well, the only reason you think you did good is because I wasn't in the mood to rip the fucking heart out of your chest. No. You think you did good? Maybe in your own little delusional fantasy world, but in the real world, in the world that I'm trying and putting in 10% more effort, your corpse is laid out in front of the camera, and this is now a fucking live leak video. I don't even, how much ego do you have to prove that to a fucking 50-year-old? This guy loses a thumb war against a cancer patient and is like, well, listen, buddy, you know I'm only going easy on you because the cancer isn't going so easy on you. I gave you that win, okay? I basically gave it to you because of the malignant tumor that's growing on you, okay? Gotta give you your small victories.
And if that doesn't scream insecurity, I don't know what does. What's also interesting to point out is that he fought the one guy in the room who isn't a fighter, not to mention the age gap. Sad, if he's struggling like that with Callen, how does he expect to be any pro MMA guy? What's worse is that you can tell he was going way harder than Brian. Like Callen was just joshing around, but you can tell Bradley was really trying. The problem is, for a guy like Brad, he's no doubt been shown a lot of respect from other men throughout his life, purely due to his size. That's why a lot of times he plays a tough guy and tries to intimidate people, because it's always worked. Often though, he jumps to being aggressive and threatening out of nowhere, when he could easily just handle things peacefully, and it just makes him seem like he has something to prove.
Someone told me here.
All right, hold on.
Listen,
No, don't run.
Hold on, listen.
Now we get the view.
Hold on, listen.
Listen to what Bradley just said.
Hey,
go ahead.
fuck up. Listen to what I'm saying.
Why are you getting mad?
Because I'm talking to you right now. Listen.
To be fair, of all the clips where Bradley Martyn looks bad, this is like the least bad one because it's Zherka.
I'm just looking out for you. We don't like teenage girls. I do. So leave. I love him.
Zherka's on somehow more substances than this guy right here. And Zherka, he's like, I'm gonna get the views right now. He's just trying to start shit on purpose. And Bradley, to be fair, if there's ever a time where low broing someone is necessary and applicable, it's definitely right here, right now.
Bradley Martyn raw talk.
Why is Steiny dressed like a slave owner?
Unexceptional, nigga.
Steiny, something about this. Steiny, zoo culture, thumbnail. I don't even know we're filming. And I feel used and I'm fucking...
Really,
I'm
bro? You want to
tired
talk
of-
about this right now? Want to talk about how you got your start, bitch? Why don't you tell the internet right now? Go ahead, tell him.
Dude.
Go ahead, tell him.
Dude,
Tell
okay.
him.
Okay,
Tell
wait.
him.
Okay, fine, I will.
Tell him when you had 1,300 followers who put you in their fucking videos, bitch.
No, but
Tell
wait.
him.
Okay, but
Tell
wait,
him.
Brad.
It's gonna cut to Steiny. Go ahead, you'll come hard at me to not expect that right
wait,
back.
control.
Tell him how you got started, bitch.
Okay, but control.
Go ahead, tell him the truth.
Dude.
Tell him the truth. Look in the camera, tell him the truth.
With all the clips popping up of Brad either wrestling people or talking a big talk, people started to realize it's not confidence he's showing, but insecurity. Even when he's just messing around with friends, he always goes overboard.
If not Zherka, then Hassan. But we know Hassan wouldn't do that because Hassan wouldn't fight Sam Hyde. I just want to see someone fight Hassan. Someone of Hassan's similar stature. That would be absolute cinema. I would buy 10,000 tickets to that. And I'd fill the arena up with cardboard cutouts of Martyn Evans to have him relive the We Love Landlords clip forever.
He doesn't know how to hold back, and because of this, sometimes people get hurt. Late last year, he had a spar with Sneako in his gym, and sadly for Sneako, it ended really badly for him. Sneako made the poor decision of not wearing a head or mouth guard, and Brad spent the entire spar throwing shots directly at his face.
You got this. Survive.
I will say Sneako gets a lot of points for this because not only did he do this, but he did the one with Sean Strickland. I will say, of all things Sneako, you know, can be hated on for, I do think you have to commend his, we'll just say bravery. Hey, when you're brave, you're brave. You know, this guy I wouldn't do. I would not. Dude, I wouldn't fucking stand against Bradley Martyn and get my fucking ass whooped. So props to this guy for being willing to yeah.
1 second. Go.
After Brad knocked Sneako down, they continued for a bit longer, but it wasn't long before Sneako realized Brad had chipped his tooth.
Bro, you chipped my tooth, Brad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where'd it go?
I spit it out mid-fight.
And as if it wasn't bad enough, Brad also cut him on his eyebrow. After this happened, Sneako called Brad out for always taking things too far, and Brad's response showed once again just how self-conscious he is about how people view him.
Post-fight interview, Brad.
Okay.
What?
Sit down. Sit down.
Do you know what sparring means, Brad?
Bro, okay, let me explain this shit. I did not go hard on you.
What?
Bro, I did not
That's
go hard.
cap.
I did not go hard.
You were trying to. I saw in your face.
Run back to 90%. Run back.
He was trying. What? He was throwing fucking.
Before you came, what did I tell you? You were on the phone. I said.
You said, "Are you sure? Are you sure?"
I don't think it's a good
But do you
idea.
know what sparring means?
Yes. But do you realize that if you put me on camera, what's gonna happen? We spar. We're fucking around. What's gonna happen? What is everyone waiting to say? Anything they can, right?
Oh, so you're putting your whole reputation on the line.
I wasn't putting anything on the line, but I'm saying like.
You were
no
game
matter-
7 fucking
I was
wailing.
not bro, if I'm game 7, I would.
Steve, my tooth is chipped.
I would knock you. If I was game 7, I would kill you.
Oh, yeah?
You would die.
Oh,
You want
yeah.
your gloves on right now?
Bro.
I'll beat the fuck out of you, game 7.
Bro, what are you doing, Brad? You're 100 pounds more than me.
That's the point. That's the point. The reality is this.
Sneako is not even saying he stands a chance. I think Sneako is at least aware enough to know that he is going to lose that fight. So he was probably just doing it for training or practice or, you know, exposure, whatever. Bradley is like, I'll kill you, I will kill you. Sneako's like, bro, like, what's the point of saying this over and over and over again? It's like, I'm not pushing back. I'm not saying that if push came to shove, you wouldn't have me on the ground or anything like that. But he's just kind of just going over and over again. He just keeps going and going. It's like, yeah, we know you're stronger than him. We know that in terms of fighting, Sneako's less experienced than all these other people you've challenged. So yeah, you'd have a better shot. Guy gets fucking angry at everything.
Brad's most recent victim was Stable Ronaldo, a pro esports player and Twitch streamer. Stable Ronaldo came to Brad's gym to film some content, but during their workout, he made a stupid move by swiping Brad's hat.
Get my hat. Alright,
Damn, actually? Oh, shit. Oh, I didn't know that was bad. My bad, Brad. Like, actually.
Obviously, Stable Ronaldo shouldn't have done this because it was really disrespectful, especially since Brad had welcomed him into his gym. He probably knew how self-conscious Brad is about his hair, which makes it worse. But even still, there's 100 different ways Brad could have dealt with the situation other than slapping the kid in the face. We all know if Stable Ronaldo was a bigger guy, there's no way in hell he would have done that. There have been multiple examples lately of how things actually go for Brad when he comes up against guys his size.
Oh my. Yeah, no. This guy's taking as many hats off your head as he fucking pleases, brother. Guy's opening up a lids, but it's all your hats. I don't want to go like full armchair psychologist or like conspiracy theory, but do you guys think there's a chance that he is taking out these slaps on like Ronaldo and he's like trying to prove that he can beat his ass up on Sneako and stuff like this, specifically because it's his only chance he can? Like against the actual people who he, you know, has on podcasts that are fighters, there's zero chance, right? And I think he's aware of that. Do we think that because of this, he goes harder on the people that he can bully? I feel like that's a possibility, right? I mean, this guy right now, he's currently fucking, you know, one-man crowd surf about to bite the curb. Can't be too fun.
It's all guys with experience, and unsurprisingly, it doesn't go well. One time, a 160-pound wrestler came to his gym and publicly challenged him to a fight.
I know, but how much you weigh? Never back down. I'm 160 pounds. Take me down $100.
Put 500, I'll put money on it.
I don't need 160, Bradley. 260. You want me to
Oh shit. Get his ass. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Brad tried catching the
Good
guy
control.
by surprise and he still lost, which was pretty
Yeah,
embarrassing.
what a bitch move. What a fucking bitch move yeah, you want to wrestle? Maybe fucking goes for him. You're a pussy.
But it's not quite as bad as what happened when he wrestled Nelk's security guard.
Let's walk out to this. What's going on? Who's winning? Not Bradley. Let me tell you. Oh my.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Ah, okay.
Tap it out. Tap it out. Tap it out.
Whoa.
Tap it out. Tap it out. There you go.
As you can see, this guy was nearly the same size as Brad, and he not only forced him to tap, but he removed his cap, exposing his hair. We know just how much Brad hates that, so he can't have been
It's
happy.
okay, the bottom of my webcam is covering this.
Possibly worse than both these encounters though, was the one with Logan Paul. Brad had been talking shit about Logan's brother Jake, saying that
Now, I don't want to watch this entire video on my stream. If you want to watch the other, like, 20% that we have left, then go watch the video for yourself. It's a Tell Us More video. Link it down below. But in conclusion, I think Bradley Martyn, you know, I don't hate the guy. I think a lot of his podcasts are good. Very clear that he has anger issues. Very clear that he has sort of a, maybe an ego that isn't backed up by any actual skill in the fighting world, which can result in him embarrassing himself, you know, quite many times. But yeah, with that all being said, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. And I'll see you guys all next time. Peace.